So today we are going to be talking about organism interactions, and actually what better way to start a little bit of organism interaction than with some serious cuteness. Aw, right, the giraffe and the squirrel. Yeah man, gorilla and the kitten. And the polar bear, and I'm going with husky on that one. Another of my favorite interactions is, hang on just a second, let me call one of my favorite organisms. Hey Maddox! Maddox, come here, bud. Yeah, this is one, like I said, one of my favorite organisms. Come here. Little boy. And Mia too. All right. So anyway, I had to check and see if we were going here. So my favorite interactions are here. One right here is my favorite. Actually, I should say, two of my favorite organisms. This is Maddox, one of my very, very favorite organisms. So we are interacting right now. Hi Maddox, so a good boy. He's very heavy. And this is my second interaction. Right here. Hold on, I'll be right there. Okay. This is my other favorite organism interaction. This is Mia. So so today we are going to be talking all about organism interactions. So one organism interacting with another. Thanks guys. See you later. Good puppies. Okay. Phew. Yeah, hi. Alright, so anyway, organism interactions. Bye guys, thanks for stopping by. Okay, so there's three main interactions. The first is competition. The second is predation. And the third is symbiosis. So competition. It's a struggle between organisms to survive in a habitat with limited resources. And if you think about it, really, every habitat is going to have limited resources if there's enough organisms that live within it. Alright, so this can happen within a species or between different species. One way to deal with this is to specialize. And what that's called is called a niche, which is an organism's particular role or how it makes a living. So it sort of it specializes so that it can win the game of ecology by being able to beat out its competition. So here we have the competition specifically between species, in this case polar bears. And here we have two different species of beetles that are duking it out for supremacy of their habitat. Alright, so one species that's really, really good at adaptation are birds. So here if you take a picture, or if you take a look at this bird beaks and feet, you'll see the different types of feet are adapted for swimming and walking, perching, seizing prey, and climbing. And then if you look at their corresponding beaks, you've got the duck beak is really, really good for filtering the bugs, etc., out of the water. The probing is going to be sort of being able to sort of probe around, almost like a stick, try and look for things in the ground. Catching insects, a shorter, wider beak. Cracking seeds, like the cardinal here, really good at cracking seeds. The tearing meat, which is going to be more like the hawks, falcons, things like that, for ripping the flesh off their prey. And then our buddy the woodpecker is really good for drilling holes. So the birds are great examples of developing niches to survive in their particular habitats. Alright, so here we go. Predation is the interaction when one organism kills and eats another. Pretty straightforward. So the predator is the killer organism, and the prey is the organism that is killed. So this happens in predation. Now, each develops adaptations to kill or avoid being killed. So some pre-adaptations. Some could be protective coverings, like an armadillo. Some could be toxins, like I don't know if it is. There's certain types of toads that excrete a toxin out of their skin that tastes really, really nasty. So if a predator tries to eat them, it's like, gross, man, yeah, icky frog, or icky toad. So warning colors. Generally in nature, red and orange are considered to be warning colors. Camouflage, so they can hide well, they can't be seen. Hang on, example of camouflage. Okay, ready? Here we go. Camouflage. You can't see me. You can't see me. See, that's pretty good. Pretty good camouflage, right? Totally. Okay, I'm back. There we go. Let me get my screen back. All right, so mimicry is when it looks like something else, so it mimics something else in nature, or false coloring like the eye spots. One example might be, you guys have seen the moths or the butterflies that look like they have really big black eyes to predators that can look like something besides a butterfly. All right, so some predator adaptation, because obviously they're going to need to adapt too. Cheetah has developed speed, the jellyfish has the stinging tentacles, and the pitcher plant, which captures flies, so it's attracted to the rotting smell inside the pitcher plant, so the fly goes in, boom, pitcher plant grabs a fly. All right, so here are some examples, some Mother Nature examples of adaptations. We've got the toad that is really, really well camouflaged, although probably not as camouflaged as I was just a minute ago. This is the stargazer fish, which is amazing. I mean, you have to look pretty close to see where he is, but can you see his little eyes right there? And then there's his mouth. So yeah, so a great example. He sort of buries himself using the ocean floor. Kind of thinking a man like PETA in Hunger Games. You know, that guy was pretty good at camouflage. And then so some prey adaptations. Excuse me, some predator adaptations. We've got the cheetah and the speed. And we've got the predator jellyfish with the stinging tentacles. All right, the second one is symbiosis, which is a close relationship between organisms that benefits at least one of the organisms. So remember, in predation, there was one benefiting and one that really wasn't because, well, he was getting eaten. So there are three types of symbiotic relationships, of symbiosis. The first is mutualism. The second is commensalism. And the third is parasitism. So if you can see from these two pictures, these are going to be an example of mutualism where they are both going to really, really benefit. The butterfly and the bee, and both flowers are really, really going to benefit from cross-pollination and things like that. All right, so mutualism. Relationship, as I said before, with the butterfly and the bee, is a relationship when both organisms benefit. That's mutualism. They mutually benefit. All right, so here we have a hippo and those birds, and the name is totally escaping me. But what happens if you've ever been to the Denver Zoo, you see the hippos. A lot of sort of bugs will land on the hippos, which is really, really annoying to the hippos. Like, man, come on, get off me, it itches. So what happens is the birds go, hey, buffet. Sits on the hippo's back, insects fly, bam, lunch. And also we've got an eel, and these are cleaner shrimp, which actually go in and clean out the mouth of the eel. So a really kind of cool personal story is I was scuba diving off the coast of Maui, and I was with my scuba guide, and we were, I don't know, maybe 30 or 40 feet down, and he sort of makes this signal to stop, and we both sort of just stopped sort of near the bottom of the ocean, near some rocks, and he takes out his airpiece and opens his mouth, and in come these cleaner shrimp, and they are cleaning out the inside of his mouth. And then I got to do the same thing. It was super duper cool. It feels crazy. So they climb in to your mouth and kind of use their scrubbers to clean out the inside of your mouth, which is good for them. They get the bacteria and like sort of the small little organisms that live inside the fish's mouth. And the fish itself, well, doesn't have to deal with all that crud in its mouth. So, and it's sort of a mutually agreed upon thing. It's like, hey man, if I'm going to climb into your mouth, you're not going to eat me. Mutualism. All right, commensalism is a relationship when one organism benefits, the other is not helped or harmed. That's commensalism. So an example might be this cactus, where we've got, the cactus is just sort of home. So it's got a lot of different animals, and it's got birds, it's got making the nests, some burrowing owls, we've got some wasps in there. So the commensalism is the cactus is like the condo. This is the organism that's really not being helped or harmed, but obviously all those creatures that live in the cactus condo are benefiting. All right, parasitism. Oh, nasty. This is when one organism living on or inside another and is harming it. So the parasite is the beneficiary organism. So that is the organism that is benefiting from this relationship. The host is the organism that the parasite uses. So the parasite does not usually kill its host. Why not? What's the advantage of keeping your host alive? Then it would lose its food source. If the parasite killed the host, then the food source would go away. So here's an example of parasitism, and we'll go over a little bit more of this in class. It's crazy. Like there are these parasites that actually get into certain species of spiders and can sort of control their movements to get the parasite from one place to another on the host, in the host spider. It's crazy. All right, so bonus, an extra interaction. Commensalism. This is the interaction when one is harmed and the other is not affected. When one is harmed, when one organism is harmed and the other is not affected. So for an example, you walking on the grass. The grass is hurt, you, meh, not so much. So again, there you have it for the organism interactions. Hope you liked it. Hope you liked my, my two favorite organisms, Maddox and Mia, and we will see you in class. Thanks for stopping by.